Hi, and welcome to the AM show, podcast, video show, whatever you want to call it. It's called AM because this is the Annie and Mindy show. And my name is Annie Catless, and I am in Australia, so it's PM in our side. And you are?
I'm in Israel. I'm Mindy Stern, and I'm broadcasting live here with Annie from Israel. And now it's AM for me. We're broadcasting from both sides of the world.
Yes, and we decided to start doing these podcasts. We met about 2 years ago, something like that. We're part of the same sort of community, same academy. We are both coaches, and we just have really great values that align. And then a third party actually told us that we should start doing TV shows and all sorts of things. So we said, well, let's just start with a podcast first, because we have so much to share with the world. I am a relationship architect, so I work with people on their relationships. And Mindy?
I'm also a coach, a trainer, a mentor. I basically have a company for helping people with financial coaching. I help people get out of debt, start living their life the way they want to financially, and actually creating a lifestyle that they want to live using their money in the best way possible. I also coach business people. I focus primarily on women, but I can coach anybody. And I help business people run a better business, make more money in their business, and have more leisure time in their business. So if any of you are interested in that, or any of you are interested in relationships, this is the place that you have to be. But I will say this, Annie, even though you and I both have our expertise in our own companies and our own niche markets, here on this podcast, I think we're going to be talking about everything that affects us as women, as mothers, as business people, as entrepreneurs, I'm going to say it, don't get mad at me, but as middle-aged women. I think that there's a lot of things we can contribute to a lot of people just from our life experiences. So it's not going to be, I hope, it's not going to be very dry. It's not going to be focused on, recruiting clients into our own businesses. I think it's purely to explore with the world better ways to live, better lifestyles to have, and to have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, well, we definitely have our experiences, and I'm not upset. I am a fabulous middle-aged woman. So, and I sort of say, one of our mentors is Mac Newton. And he's like 73 or 74 years old. And he said, life starts tomorrow. So life starts at 50 plus.
Right?
So I think that the last half of our life was there to teach us things, for us to collect the wisdom. So now we have this opportunity, because we kind of know who we are, and we have the opportunity to help other people to understand certain things about life. So we're going to be sharing our experiences. So as one of our other mentors said, T.H. Eckert, don't trust the word I say. Well, exactly. It's not like I tell you how to live your life. I just share with the world what worked for me, and some people can take example from it. So yes, as you said, this is not about recruiting. It's not about that. It's about offering value, offering knowledge. Now, of course, if somebody wants to talk with us, by all means, we're not going to say no, because that's what we do for a living. We are there to help people have a better quality of life. But the whole thing is about understanding a little bit about life. And you know what? I've actually had quite an interesting experience today. Do you want me to share it with you?
Absolutely. Tell me all about it.
So I spent the last 24 hours with a friend of mine who is going through a dreadful divorce. And it is debilitating, and it is breaking her apart, and she's had some very horrible thoughts. She got kicked out of her house.
Wow.
She got arrested, and she got kicked out of her house. She had nowhere to go. So she stayed with another friend the other day, and then I said to her, come and stay with me. So we spent some time together, and she just left. And I have to say, I am feeling really sad for her. And it doesn't matter how much I spoke to her. You can't fix it in 24 hours. She did take some stuff away, but I have to say, this world does have stuff happening in it, and I saw with my own eyes, you know, somebody who's just completely lost and they don't know which way to turn. And I did feel at a loss at some point, and then I just had to be okay with what I was able to give her, you know. And there's so many people that have nobody to talk to, or they just don't want to talk to anybody in case they are inconveniencing somebody. So, you know, I think it would be really great if people have some questions about life to throw it at us, because we have a very big community of friends and like-minded people and coaches of different not professional specialties. Thank you. Background and specialties. So there could be things that maybe you and I are not really well versed in. However, you know, I'm sure that we have other people on our show and bring people in that have very special things to share with us. So if people have anything to say, I think it would be great for them to connect with us and ask some questions.
Absolutely.
What do you think of that?
So that's lesson number 1 for today, is ask questions and seek advice, seek help. You know, my mother always says to me, Grandma used to say to me that even the president has advisors. And I think that's a big deal, taking advice or asking for help. You know, I had a client yesterday also that we were talking, and he wants to take on all the responsibility. You know, he's in a family, he has his wife, he has me, he has his children are adults. But he's always taking on all the responsibilities. So yesterday in the discussion, I said to him, well, why don't you ask, it was something with the computer came up. I said, well, why don't you ask one of your kids? Do they know about computers, telephones, applications? He said, yeah. I said, why don't you ask for help? And he looked at me, and it was something so mundane. It wasn't even something big and, you know, oh, help me with my life, or help me with this thought, or help me with this big major career problem I'm having. It was an app that he couldn't disconnect from. But he was struggling to find the way to disconnect, to unsubscribe from an app, which was taking from a little bit of money every month for many, many, many years. But he doesn't know how to do it, can't find the answer, struggling to find the answer. And it's just sometimes as easy as just asking from somebody for a little bit of help. And then he would have this big problem. It's also a financial problem, really work out. So yeah, if there's something bothering you guys out there, something that you're interested in learning, something that you want to improve in your life, bring it up, send us a message, write it here in the chat, in the comments, and we will be happy to tackle it. And if we don't know the answer, just like you said, Annie, we will definitely be able to find someone and maybe have a guest come on the show with us to help you solve your issues. Because, you know, life is about learning. And I think, again, that's a lot of our mentors say that about learning and making mistakes and trying things and making mistakes and learning from your mistakes. Maybe, Annie, we talked about mentors before. Maybe I'll just give a little bit of a background of the people that we're working with, you know, the community,
yes, absolutely.
How we met, a little bit of the process we went through in our own personal development. Annie and I met through personal development, programs, seminars, workshops, mentors. So I'll say that we are both part of this community called the Blair Singer Training Academy. And that is officially how we met. We work with a man named Blair Singer, who is, I think, the world's best trainer and teacher, mentor in the world, and probably one of the nicest people that you will ever meet. And Blair, he has a mission in Blair Singer Training Academy to create the world's best leaders and trainers. And through leading and training, we can actually all together change the world, make the world a better place. And I've been working with Blair since, I think, 2016. Annie, you a lot longer, right?
2012.
2012. Oh my goodness. So we've been with Blair a long time, and Blair has this really big community of people all over the world, leaders and teachers and trainers all over the world who he has trained, he has taught, he has helped them all go, including ourselves, through a whole series of programs to be able to be the best leaders and trainers and teachers in the world. And they are able to be the best, and we are able to be the best, because the program is not just the technical training of how to become a teacher. The programs that you go with Blair are basically personal development programs. If I want to have a great and successful business, the first thing that I need to work on is me, from the inside out. If I want to be the best teacher and trainer in the world, the first place to work on is on me. So so you go through a lot of meeting yourself and growing as a person and exploring your new ideas and creating new challenges, all through a network of support and love, and like you said before, Annie, like-minded people. Because especially for solopreneurs, people who work by themselves or entrepreneurs, we have a tendency to work alone. And we have a tendency to work alone. And that's one of the things that Blair has really knocked into us, is that life is a team sport. Business is a team sport. Relationships are a team sport. So work in teams. So even though Annie is in Australia and I'm here in Israel, we are a team. And we became a team through this organization, through this academy called the Blair Singer Training Academy.
Yes, and a great thing here is that Mindy, you have two skills that I needed, and by meeting you and being part of this group, I was actually able to find the right person to help me with what I needed. So since I've been working with you in the last now 10 months, I am further along in my business than in the last 8 years. So that's pretty huge. So when you find the right person, but unless you go out there and you're part of a group, you're part of a community, you go networking, you will never meet people. And then to be able to ask for help, that's key. It doesn't make anybody any less. A lot of people are embarrassed to ask questions because then they kind of figure that they're not good enough or not clever enough or not worthy enough. But the reality is that we can't know everything. We weren't born with everything. Like if somebody would say to me, Annie, we need you to do a brain surgery. Well, I don't know, but I can sort of maybe try direct you to the right person. However, I think I could probably do a pimple squashing thing, because I've been watching this doctor on. It's called pimple porn. It's really funny, right? Pimple porn. But I tell you, I have found this woman called Dr. Sandra Lee on YouTube, who's a dermatologist, and I have been watching surgeries for the last 3 months. And you know what? I have learned so much. I've learned so much about skin, about how to remove things, and I started to go, oh, I got that too. Oh, that's what you do with it. So it's really funny. So I'm educating myself. Honest to God, I think I could do a pimple removal surgery because I watched so many of them. So I think it's just so I don't know why I said that now. I don't know why I went there, but it's all about
why. What were you looking for when you started exploring on YouTube this dermatologist? What solution were you trying to solve, and what problem were you trying to solve?
I don't know what was it about it. Like I was watching something, like I wanted to be a doctor. So when I was a little girl, like my mom passed away when I was 5. So nobody could save us. So for some reason, I got this thing into my head at one point that I wanted to be a doctor so I could save other mummies so the children wouldn't lose their mummy, right? So I still remember I would have been about 15 years old, and and I was in a very special high school. So in my country, I'm from Romania, we had specialty high schools. So you were in primary school till year 8, and then 9, 10, 11, and 12, that was high school. So by that time, you kind of knew what you wanted to do. So then you went to the proper high school. So I went to a high school that specialized in biology, chemistry. right? So sciences.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be a doctor. So then they took us
And
to
I just
the
got to say this. I
university.
went to a high school that specialized in partying. So
Oh,
it
good
shows
for
you.
you. Nah, not me. I was not allowed. So I went to the University of Medicine, and I actually assisted in an autopsy,
Oh my God.
right?
How old were you?
So I was 16. So they
Oh.
so they said, who wants to help? And I said, me. So opened up this person, they gave me the stomach and they gave me the intestines, and then he made me walk and said, look how long the intestine is.
Oh my
And then
God.
they cut out the brain. And
Oh
then
my God.
do you know how heavy this is? It's unbelievable. Like, we have no idea, it's like consciously realize how heavy our brain is
Wow.
to
Wow.
carry this thing around.
And you only use 10% of it. Big heavy
Yeah,
small thing that's not used even barely.
that's right. So it's so it was really cool. So I think I always had this interest in medicine and getting better. So then I just found this lady, and I love the way she explains things, and it's almost like she cleans people up. She takes out all these lymph nodes and things and that, and then people are so happy. So I'm all into bettering. So I don't know, I'm just hooked on this right now. So don't ask me why, I don't know, but it's really cool. She's really cool, actually, right? So and that one thing leads to another. I started to learn about diseases. So I actually just like educating myself.
Yeah,
in
I like that.
different
I like that about you a lot. And you find the time. I don't even know how you find the time to do it. With your business and your family and the learning that we do and the work we do in the BSTA and the Blair Singer Training Academy. And also we have the Women's Project, Women Leading into the Future project that we've been doing for the past 6 months. How do you find the time to be looking for these new things? I mean,
I do it
yeah.
when I go to bed, because I need to kind of calm down, because I've been going all day, and and then I just lie there, and sometimes I go, what do I want to watch? Sometimes I watch dance videos. And I also was in Romania. I was my first career, my first dream was to be a dancer. So I was in a school of arts in Romania. So I was going to be a ballerina.
Wow.
So when I was 11,
you look like
I
a ballerina.
actually applied. I do, don't I? Right? And I'm wearing this little cute outfit today. Check this out.
Oh, very nice.
I might be 53-year-old, but somehow I have not grown up. And it's great.
Another thing we have in common.
I believe that youthfulness is within. So how I said to you before, I met a boy.
Yeah,
so I didn't
tell
meet a
me
boy.
all about it.
I met a man, but I met this boy. And and it's somebody that I have been watching for a long time, and he's a very interesting looking fella. So he's not I thought I had a particular type, but this guy's quite different, and he's very funky. And he asked me out. So I actually went out on a date. I was like, oh my God. And then so this is how the human brain works. And then I said, why me? And I asked my friend, I said, why me? Why
What did you say it to? To him?
No, to a girlfriend. To a girlfriend. No, I did ask him, I said, why now? Because I've known him for a long time, and I've always seen him, but he's never really, he said hello, and that was pretty much it. And I was like, but why now? But it was just so lovely. And seriously, I felt like I was 16 years old again.
Really?
I got the giggles, and I was telling my girlfriend, I'm going, so the thing is, our heart never really grows up, and the whole thing about life is to find a way to experience joy and comfort and contentment and peace and fulfillment and love, and don't ask me what love is, because that's the $1 million question. But it's nice, and I'm giddy. I'm actually feeling really giddy. And I'm sitting here today and I'm daydreaming. I'm thinking, wake up, you got work to do, you know?
Fantastic.
And then I get a beautiful message from him saying how wonderful I am. And I'm like, wow. So it's nice. So you know what? We are middle-aged women, but you know what? And yes, we are single. But romance doesn't stop if you don't want it to stop. If you keep on asking for it. Oh, and do you want to know something else?
What?
You know, like people, when you know, like we say, ask for what you want, right?
Sure.
Ask for what you want. So I used to go, ask for what I want. How can I ask for what I want? You know, and I listen to, you know, have you ever seen Steve Harvey?
No, I haven't even heard of Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey is an American comedian. You know, he's a Black American comedian, an African American. And but he's got a couple of shows now, and he's very, very popular. But he's also become a motivational speaker, and the stuff that he talks about is absolutely amazing. He lived in his car for many, many years, and now he's an extremely successful, you know, a multimillionaire, I would presume, and he's got a great following, and I love watching him. And one day he talked about that when he was in his car and he was broke and he had no money and all of that. But he said he kept asking, like he's had faith, like I have faith, you have your own faith. And I believe in God. I mean, I don't have to go to church to prove that I love God. God is in my heart. And that's it. You know, that's all I say about that. But I have this gorgeous little section here in my window. I look out and I've got all these trees and then there's a hole between them.
Yeah.
And I always see the sky.
Wow.
So I talk to him through the hole. And then I say, you know, I want this and I kind of want that. And I listen. And Steve Harvey says, you got to ask for what you want, exactly what you want. And what he asked for, it's exactly what he got. He didn't know how he's going to get it, but he lived into his belief. He lived into what he wanted. So Saturday morning, I go and I have coffee with some friends and we do breakfast at 10 o'clock in the morning every Saturday morning. So one of the guys from the group just got himself a girlfriend. So he's beside himself with joy and happiness. And I'm sitting there and I'm driving to the coffee shop and I'm going, oh, this is so wonderful. He's happy, he's got a girlfriend. And I am literally bawling my eyes out, right?
Yeah.
So I there and I'm like, and they're looking at me going, you're right. I said, yes, I'm just so happy for you. And he goes, I'm happy. He goes, well, why are you happy? I said, because I just feel joy and I like love and you know, and I'm you know, I'm a relationship coach. You know, I like everything to do with romance.
Yeah.
Right. And then when I was watching the two of them, I'm going, oh, this is so cute. And literally, they were teenagers, and both of them are in their 50s, right?
Yeah.
So they're holding hands, and they're constantly touching each other. They
want
to let go of each other.
Nice.
They were so sweet, right? So I get in my car, and I'm driving home, and I'm going, you know, God, I could do with some of that. I enjoy being on my own. I really love my space. I love my world. I like what I do. I like the travel that I do. But I thought, you know, I wouldn't mind just having a person that I can hang out with, you know, go to a concert or go to, I don't know, go have a dance, have a conversation, go for a walk, whatever, right? And the rest. So, and I went out that night. And this fella that I have been just looking at, because he's just very nice to look at.
Yeah, eye candy.
I think he is. So anyway, and when I go home, he sent me a message and he said, it was really lovely meeting you. Wow. And he said, you're really intriguing. And he goes, I'd like to know more of you. Oh,
hello.
All I could say was,
how nice is that?
So it is. But you know what the thing here is that people need to be able to receive something like that. I mean, I told you my first question was, why me?
Yeah.
You know, all of a sudden, and then I had to catch myself and say, well, why not?
Why not? Absolutely.
Why? Because he's so gorgeous? I'm gorgeous.
You are.
So, and then I went out on my first date, and I can't remember how long. Since I separated from my husband, almost 3 years, I haven't been on a date.
Wow.
So it was
Wow.
nice. And all we did was walk down the river. That's it.
Wow.
And
How
it was
nice.
very, very special. So for those out there who are listening, and for those that, they had broken relationships and broken hearts and all of that, and I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm not attached to the outcome. I'm just living in a moment and enjoying every minute of it. And I have no, oh my God, this is a relationship. It's not yet. It's just somebody that I just met who is just really nice.
That is so
And I've
beautiful.
been asking for somebody really nice, and somebody who likes my kind of music, somebody who dresses well, who's elegant, somebody who is has his own business, somebody who kind of likes to dance, even though he's got quite a quirky way of dancing, and I love it. And there's bits of all of that in him, and it's nice. So, and I always kept on thinking, oh no, there isn't anybody like that there, but he's close. It's nice. And I'm
nice.
enjoying the development and learning about somebody. So in relationships, I just say, don't give up hope. And I think that's what we do. We give people hope as long as they want to do the work, as long as there are ways. And I'm sure that in the next couple of shows that we're going to be doing, we will be talking about our experiences and what we've gone through and the pains that we've gone through. So people see that they're not alone. And if they're interested and they want to listen to stories, because that's what we're doing, is sharing stories and breakthroughs that we've had,
and still are having, in daily life.
Single day, every single day. I actually rang my coach, Jane Johnson.
Yeah.
And I actually booked in a session because I couldn't understand why I got so emotional about my friends. So I did a session with her. So we did a process. We didn't do a process. She just did her processing. And she goes, you've become so spiritual with all the learnings and all your own personal development. You reached a real deep spiritual space, which means that you feel joy for others and you genuinely celebrate other people's joy. And I just went, wow. Because I didn't understand why. And every time somebody tells me that they win something, they get a new job, or they I don't know, something that it's a win, I get so excited and I just go, oh my God, and I get emotional. I go, why am I so emotional? Why am I so emotional? And I said to her, and why did I ask why me? And then she said, well, why not? I said, oh, okay, I haven't asked myself that question.
Yeah.
So our own experiences are constant learning. It's a constant learning, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
So I think then when mistakes happen and when we fail and adversity hits, and sometimes we sit there and we go, why me? Why not you? Because then it's like, okay, what's the lesson in it? Everything is a lesson. Everything is a lesson.
And it really depends on what you do with it. And again, another one of our mentors says, you cannot control situations, but you can control how you react to them. So I guess what we want to do is help people think of different ways, explore ideas of how really to react to life, how to be in control, how to be active, how to build your life, create your life, and give you the tools for that. And I'm really looking forward to it. First call was really great of the Annie and Mindy show, the AM show. Yeah. And I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward, Annie, to continuing this once a week. Same time, same place.
Yeah. So am I. And I think next time, I would like for us to talk about our experiences on Mount Kilimanjaro, because as women and business women, so I consider us powerful, like we're strong, we do what we need to do. That doesn't mean that we don't have our own we do have insecurities, because if we didn't have insecurities, we wouldn't be normal.
Wouldn't be alive.
But Sorry?
Wouldn't be alive.
Sorry? Yeah. And you had some great breakthroughs, you know, when we came off the mountain with the boots, the changing of the boots.
Yeah.
So I would like for you to share that, because I think that's really, really powerful, because I had very similar experience too in that moment.
So next week, we're going to talk about Mount Kilimanjaro. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. I think we could talk about the past and also the future with Mount Kilimanjaro. There's lots of things to talk about there.
That's right.
So great. Andy, thank you so much for today. Everybody, it was really wonderful to be on the call with you, to be in this new podcast, The Annie and Mindy Show. Come back weekly to our channel. We will be here on YouTube. We will be here in the podcast. You can video, you can audio, and most important, you can be in touch with us. Comment, share, ask questions. We are here for you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mindy. This is awesome. I just want to say thank you to Kristen from K2 Adventures, because she's the one, when I said to her, we're going to climb Mount Kilimanjaro again, and then she said, oh, Mindy and Annie, she said, oh, you two just have to have a show. You two have to have a show because you are amazing. So here we are. So
thank you, Kristen.
And this is what action is. This is what action is. We just said, okay, let's do it. And here it is.
And here it is.
So thank you, Mindy, and I'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye, everybody.
Much love. Bye.